Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, the premier source for Second Amendment news where freedom has a voice. And today, we got some great news. A case that could pave the way for state-level suppressor bans to fall nationwide. Yeah, for all of my viewers that are always saying, hey, it doesn't matter if the NFA drops because my state is saying that they're illegal, this is one for you. Now, this one is out of New Jersey, and it's going to have national implications. A major federal lawsuit was just filed by a powerhouse group of Second Amendment advocates, veterans, and national organizations against the state's total ban on firearm suppressors. The case is Padua v. Platkin, and it could be the case that finally ends New Jersey's unconstitutional war on suppressor ownership and sends a message to every single anti-gun state in the country. It's a big one, folks. Let's dive into it here. There are 9 plaintiffs, including 3 individual gun owners and 6 major Pro-2A organizations. The Association for New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Clubs, Inc., Second Amendment Foundation, Safari Club, New Jersey Firearm Owners Syndicate, the American Suppressor Association, and the National Rifle Association. They've filed a federal complaint against New Jersey's Attorney General Matthew Platkin and State Police Superintendent Patrick Callahan. Now, the issue here is New Jersey criminalizes the possession of firearm suppressors, commonly and inaccurately called silencers. Actually accurately called silencers because the patent is a silencer, but most people know them as suppressors nowadays. If you own one in New Jersey, you're guilty of a 4th-degree crime, even if you followed all federal laws and paid your $200 tax stamp. Now, the plaintiffs argue that this blanket ban violates the 2nd and the 14th Amendments, and the ban can't stand under the Supreme Court's Bruin test. Correct. Now let's quickly revisit New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, which was a 2022 Supreme Court ruling that changed everything. Under Bruin, the government must prove that any restriction on the right to keep and bear arms is deeply rooted in our nation's history and tradition. Here's the kicker. Suppressors have been around for over 100 years. They were never historically banned, and they're legal in 42 states today, which means 8 states need to get their teeth kicked in like this. So New Jersey's blanket ban, it doesn't have a leg to stand on under Bruin. In fact, even the Biden Department of Justice admitted in court, the Department of Justice recently admitted in court, and I'll put that video above, that suppressors are protected by the Second Amendment. In a recent Fifth Circuit case, which was U.S. v. Peterson, the DOJ said, and I'll quote, "A ban on the possession of suppressors would be unconstitutional," end quote. Looking at you, New Jersey and Massachusetts and the other groups of states. Well, guess what? That's exactly what New Jersey's doing, right? So let's bust the myth here. Suppressors do not make guns silent like in Hollywood or in video games. They just reduce noise. They typically reduce by 20 to 30 decibels depending on the firearm and the ammunition used. Generally speaking, they reduce the sound of a firearm to be that of about a jackhammer. And if you guys and gals out there in liberal land think a jackhammer is quiet, I want what you're on. Now, think of them like a muffler for your car. It's still loud but less dangerous to your ears. And that's critical because gunshots, like I said, they're loud. They readily exceed 140 decibels, which is the threshold for immediate and permanent hearing loss. Now, the CDC, OSHA, and medical organizations all agree that suppressors are an important tool for preventing hearing damage. They're used in hunting so that you can hear approaching game without blowing out your eardrums. They're used in training for reducing flinch and recoil, improving accuracy, and in home defense so that you don't go deaf defending your family at 2 a.m. And it's also a courtesy, lowering noise pollution in your neighborhood or at your local firing range. Suppressors make firearms safer, period. And yet, New Jersey bans them outright, with just one narrow exception for state-authorized deer control. Now let's take a quick moment to thank the video sponsor, Aura. If you've ever wondered how scammers got your phone number and why your inbox is flooded with spam, this is why. Your personal information is out there, and chances are it's already been stolen and sold off by data brokers. They do it without your consent, and they make billions sending it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. Every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity theft. And that's why Aura is here, to protect you and your family from digital threats before they become real-life disasters. Aura monitors your personal information across the dark web, alerts you in real time if something's wrong, and even helps you recover stolen accounts or money with a US-based team available 24/7. But Aura doesn't stop there. It also blocks scam calls, safeguards your devices from malware, and even helps protect your kids online. Plus, Aura includes $5 million in identity theft insurance protection. That's why I chose Aura. It really is an all-in-one, powerful, easy-to-use app. Protect what matters most. Start your 14-day free trial at aura.com/gunsandgadgets and see if your data has been exposed. I'm not leaving myself vulnerable, and you shouldn't either, thanks to Aura. All right, let's meet the real people standing up here in this lawsuit, the individuals. David Padua is a Marine Corps veteran with 18 years of service. He was medically retired with 100% VA disability, and he's also diagnosed with severe tinnitus and Meniere's disease, which is an inner ear problem that can cause dizzy spells, also called vertigo, and hearing loss. He's an NRA certified firearms instructor, and he can't own suppressors that could help preserve what little hearing he has left. Then there's Michael Glenn, a former National Guard combat medic, retired fire department, FDNY, fire department from New York City, paramedic from there, and part of the personal protection detail of U.S. presidents and dignitaries. He's concerned about hearing loss from decades of service. He wants to use suppressors for reasonable firearms training and home defense. And then there's Brian Weber, the third individual, a New Jersey utility worker who owns a private shooting range on his property. He's worried about disturbing his neighbors and his children's hearing. He legally owns a suppressed bolt-action .22 rifle registered with the ATF and kept in Pennsylvania in a trust because New Jersey law bans it. I'm right there with him. My hearing from years as a firearms instructor is not what it used to be, and my wife just thinks I'm selectively not hearing her. All three of these folks are responsible, peaceable citizens. All three are blocked from using a common federally legal safety device, as long as you jump through their hoops, just because they live in New Jersey. Now, this isn't about suppressors, it's about state governments denying a constitutional right under color of law. Now, the lawsuit argues that suppressors, number one, suppressors are bearable arms in common use for lawful purposes. Number two, the ban fails the Bruin test. And number three, there is no historical tradition of banning suppressors. Number four, New Jersey's law violates 42 U.S.C. Section 1983, which allows citizens to sue when constitutional rights are violated by state actors. Now, they're asking the court to do a couple things. One, declare New Jersey's ban unconstitutional both on its face and as applied. Number two, permanently block the state from enforcing it. And number three, award legal fees and any other appropriate relief. Folks, Padua v. Platkin is not just a lawsuit, it's a challenge to a decades-old injustice in New Jersey and a warning shot to every anti-gun politician who thinks they're above the Constitution. This case could pave the way for suppressor bans to fall nationwide. And with the strength of the plaintiffs involved, Second Amendment Foundation, American Suppressor Association, NRA, we're looking at a serious challenge that the courts can't ignore. Keep your eyes on this one. I'll be following it every step of the way because this is going to be a big one. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. About 40% of the people who watch the news aren't even subscribed to it. So help this channel out and subscribe and help me get to that 1 million subscriber threshold so we can prove to YouTube that our voice matters here. And share the video, guys and gals, with other fellow freedom lovers. The fight for our rights doesn't end at the range. We know that. It starts with being informed. And, check out Blackout Coffee. If you're like me and you need caffeine to survive, or if you just love fresh roasted coffee that's sent to you within 2 to 3 days of it being roasted, Blackout Coffee. We have tons of roasts and flavors to choose from. And if coffee's not your jam, we have loose leaf teas and hot chocolates as well. blackoutcoffee.com/GNG and use my code GNG10 to save 10% on your order. Until next time, This is Jared from Guns and Gadgets bringing you the truth about the Second Amendment, because if you're not paying attention to your rights, someone's already trying to take them. Stay safe, stay ready, and stay free. But remember, the duty of a true patriot is to protect his country from its government. Take care, America.